Everybody, welcome to another edition of Social Media News Live. So glad that you're here with us. This is going to be a super fun show. We've got rain and internet problems, but you know what? We're going to go live anyway. So we are so excited that you're here. If you enjoy this show, would you do us a favor and give us a sprinkle of love across the interwebs? Call in your friends who are like, hey, they're on Instagram. They need to know this stuff. Call them in down below. And we want to make this show all about you guys so you can ask your questions. And in fact, we have our friend, Carrie Ray, is here this morning saying, good morning to you, Carrie. Thank you for joining us over on the YouTubes. We appreciate you. You're such a good supporter of the show. But we're going to, this is an exciting show because I got one of my friends on today. We'd love for you guys to tell a friend about this. We're broadcasting this live so you can ask the questions because we want to make this show all about you. So let us know down below. There is another one of our, I call him my G plus friends. There's Dustin Stout, Peg.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to hit the go on the podcast machine. We will get started with the show. Anything, Grace? How are you doing this morning? I didn't even talk to you. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited Peg's here.
I'm excited Peg's here too. So I share in that excitement. Hello, I'm fine. I'm good. Let's do this.
All right, let's go. So I'm going to hit go on the podcast machine and we'll get started. It's going to be a fun show. Just a minute. I forgot to start this. There we go.
Are we on Amazon Live?
Now we are. That's what I was waiting for. So here we go. Welcome to Social Media News Live. I'm Jeff C. and you're not.
I'm Grace Duffy, and this is the show that keeps you up to date on what's going on in the world of social media. And today's show is brought to you by Restream, which is how we are being broadcast live to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and a million other destinations. Amazon Live today. So if you'd like to find out how you can do the same, follow us at socialmedianewslive.com/Restream and find out how you can start your own live show.
Yes. And today we are joined by my friend Peg Fitzpatrick, and we are going to be talking about Instagram moving beyond just being a square photo sharing app. What? Yeah. And embracing more videos. They're going to be talking. They want to have more shopping, and they want to talk about messaging. We're going to explore all of those. We're going to talk about what businesses and marketers need to know about this shift in strategy. We're going to talk about how to leverage Instagram's heightened focus on e-commerce for your business, and how Instagram is planning to take on hot competitors like YouTube, TikTok, and the old Snapchat. So, by the way, if you guys want to create an amazing show just like this one, I can't help but mention my amazing friends over at Ecamm. So if you want to find out more about them, go to socialmedianewslive.com/Ecamm, socialmedianewslive.com/Ecamm. We'll talk about that more in a bit. But I wanted to introduce my friend, Peg Fitzpatrick. And if you don't know Peg, well, you haven't been on the internet very long. So she is a popular social media speaker. She's a trainer and a writer. She's co-author of The Art of Social Media, Power Tips for Power Users, covers all the major social media platforms. She frequently hears, you're everywhere. And she really is. So she's everywhere on social. She's passionate about social media, helping small businesses, inspiring others to be their best. And she's also a good friend. Peg, welcome to the show today.
Hello. Sorry, I am blurry. We have Tropical Storm Elsa, I think, hitting us right now. So
let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
I won't sing it.
Let it go.
Yeah.
I will. Now it's mortalized.
Really quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Ramon Ray is here. He goes, why just Dustin when we did a shout out? Well, I'm going to shout out you, Ramon. Thank you for stopping by today. And and Scott goes, they've been more than a photo.
On Google Plus?
I don't know. Maybe I did, but I think he came later in my whole social friends.
Okay, Ramon, that's why, because Dustin's from Google Plus.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Where did you meet fast up?
Yeah, I can't remember where. We may have met on Google Plus, but I can't remember. But anyway, Scott says that, we're talking about Instagram today. He says there have been more a photo image sharing app for a while, in his humble opinion. But we're going to talk about that with this first bit of news. So Grace, break this down for us, because this is really a little bit crazy, but go ahead.
Well, it is and it isn't. Like Scott, our friend Scott Ayers over there mentioned, Instagram is not just been a photo sharing app for a long time, but that has been its main focus, at least as people have built their presence on Instagram. The focus has always been on these luxurious, beautiful, highly stylized photos. But last week, Instagram chief Adam Azari took to the platform to announce his overview for the company's plans for the coming quarters, so third quarter, fourth quarter, the rest of 2011 or 2021. I don't know what year we're in. Sorry. I just,
Who does?
oh my gosh. And then he also added, this is interesting too. He also added that in company surveys, it shows that more people use Instagram to be entertained. And that's where Instagram's future seems to be leaning towards, which I think is kind of funny to even mention, because it's like, why else are we on social media? Like, I don't come on here for the ads. So, I'm here to, like, to connect and be entertained and, be around people that I like, love, and enjoy. Right. So, and then, of course, they're also talking about that the focus is going. I think the bigger news is the focus is now going to be on video and shopping. So there was a huge, wide range of reactions to this news in the social media world. Peg, what was yours? What do you think of this big announcement? This quote unquote big announcement?
I think they kind of came out and made the big announcement, kind of like Pinterest did, to just say, hey, we are, they want to tell you what they are, because they're trying to segue people that way. So I think the thing is, obviously it has been more than just images, but that's still what it says everywhere. Like, that literally was the description of Instagram for a really long time, was that it's a photo sharing app. You share square images. They tried to expand it and let people do taller images and wider images, but nobody does. I never see anything except for square images, ever. Do you guys?
Nope.
I've tried it. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Right, because it's ingrained in us so they're really trying to change the narrative. If we want to go back to Mad Men, they're trying to tell us what they want us to know. And that is, we are not just for photos. You can share your videos here too. And the reason that I feel this is such a big deal is because of the attention economy. And you spend a lot more time with a video than you do with a photo. Yes, you can write a big, long description. People have written longer captions. Hashtags, I feel like, are barely working these days. So for me, if I post just a photo on Instagram, it barely does anything. The algorithm is like dead for my account. Video is, and I think that's across the board. And I think people just don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit. But I mean, my Instagram 2 years ago was way better than my Instagram now. Why is that? Like, why is my growth on Pinterest so much better? And I spend more time on Instagram, and it's always been that way. They really have shut down the algorithm, much like Facebook pages. So if you've been around on social media for a while, it's not surprising. We all knew this was going to come, that at some point the organic algorithm was just going to stop. You have all these people that liked your account, but they're not going to see your stuff unless you place an ad. So it gets back to the attention economy, where you'll have to pay for somebody to see it, even though they've already liked your account. It's exactly like, it makes me hyperventilate a little bit, because I worked so hard to get like 10,000 followers on a company Facebook page that I managed. And it was very challenging, and people just don't see the content. And then if we look to the other change that they made, which is they're going to be moving more of their features towards desktop, I think that they're trying to get the older people that are on Facebook to be able to see some of the things that they might not see in the app. So the millennials and the Gen Z have their phone in their hands all the time. Maybe Gen X too. We could say we do. We probably do too. But I mean, in general, people do different things on desktop and their phone, unless you're a social media manager, and then we're on both at the same time, looking at our phone and the desktop at the same time. I think that it's all part of that. Like, they're just trying to like change it. They're like, okay, we're going to let you see reels now on desktop. And really interesting stat, which do you guys think is the most popular video on Instagram right now? Like, if you guys that are watching, what do you think is the most popular? Is it IGTV? Is it live? Is it reels? Or is it like an in post? Like, what one do you guys think is the most popular? Because I was really surprised by the stat that I heard recently. Which one do you guys think it is, Grace and Jeff?
Grace, what do you think?
Well, I'm gonna have to say live video because that's what I get asked about all the time. People want
Okay.
to stream on Instagram, especially people that are, especially with the integration of live shopping. People are very
Right.
interested in doing it, and so I'm actually
Mhm.
was gonna. You jumped ahead to my question, which is awesome.
Sorry.
Because
Well,
Sorry.
no, it's fine
But
because
wait,
it's
we have to
timely.
answer this one before we go on,
yeah,
though, because
because
this is
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
really
got
but
we've got people answering too. Because I want to
yeah,
bring up
yeah.
their comments.
Sorry,
So
Yeah,
guys,
no, go
I
ahead.
didn't mess up your flow.
so I'll go last because I have
Okay.
control over everything. So
I'll go
so
last because I know the answer, Jeff.
I don't know the answer. So Carrie says
Okay.
Reels. She says that she thinks Reels would be the most popular. Another person says I think it's got to be Reels, and Scott says Reels has to be more popular than IGTV or IG Live. I think it's. I don't know this answer, but I'm going to have to go with probably the thing that I don't think it is. I think it's probably IG Live, and that's probably because it's like the underdog. What is it? The correct answer, Peg?
It is video and stories.
Oh,
Oh, like
So
okay.
people are still watching stories more, and you can see stories on Facebook.
Mm.
So maybe there's a correlation. So I think that they're trying to they wanted us to really like IGTV and Reels. They're favoring Reels a lot. You can see that all the time. Like you see Reels all the time. They pop up. People share their Reels to their stories, but stories are still getting a lot of attention because people are comfortable with them. You just click on it. They're up there. You watch them. But Instagram is moving towards they want people to do live video, like Grace mentioned, and they want people to do reels. So they're pushing those two features, but that's not right now what is most popular. People like stories. So I thought that was really
That
surprising.
is really interesting. So I want to talk about because the reason this we're having this conversation that they have made this out they're not a photo sharing app anymore. It's because of competition. So let's talk about the competition. So these platforms are mimicking one another while trying to remain unique and trying to keep users engaged. So, Instagram rolled out and we got a lot of comments about IGTV a few years ago in response to YouTube, but that really didn't take off. Like I remember the big press announcement they had. They got all those influencers to come and didn't really do what it was supposed to do. Then TikTok started heating up. It rolled out Reels. Instagram rolled out Reels in response to TikTok, but then people just use Reels to repost their TikToks. And then this week we learned that TikTok has embraced longer videos. And I mean, I think it's already gone crazy because my daughter even showed me now, like Jimmy Kimmel and Kristen Bell did a thing, and it was a whole song that was on TikTok that I could watch. And so, I mean, it's really cool now that you have this longer time to do stuff in. I think it's going to be hard for them to catch up. Anyway, my opinion. So the company announced that, TikTok said it's going to do you can get these 3 minutes in length after they tested this with a larger number of creators. They've been doing that over the past several months. So before it was only 60 seconds. Now it went from 15 to 60, and now it's, it's just kind of going crazy. So what is Instagram up against here? Because it feels like they're always chasing the tail of TikTok.
Right.
So is it too late? I mean, I guess the good thing for us is it's going to be, they always give preference in the algorithm to things they want to happen. Like,
Right.
Should we start posting more IGTV because they want to have more video, or should we just forget about our feed and just start posting video in there? What are your thoughts, Peg?
Well, I think, the interesting thing about TikTok making longer videos is part of the reason that you would watch videos over and over again because they were short and sometimes they were fast. Like if somebody was teaching you something and they only had like 30 seconds, they would go really fast. And then you would watch it multiple times, getting more attention. So they're keeping you on that one thing longer. So it's going to be interesting. I think they kind of moved to, I don't know why TikTok really did it. I'm guessing.
Right.
But I think that they did it because, they want longer, it's long enough for a song. They've seen a lot of success with music on TikTok. They started as Musically, so it was just like video lip sync, and then they switched to TikTok. There's so many different layers and levels of TikTok. There's like, cleaning TikTok and teacher TikTok and book TikTok, and there's all these different things that people are learning different things, so they're giving people longer to do that in. It's going to change the format of the videos, because the shorter it is, actually, the harder it is to make something great. And I'll refer back to the all great Zach King, because
Right.
Zach King
It's amazing.
freaking amazing. He's so good at making things. If you guys don't know him, check out his TikTok. He started out on Vine, and he is the best at like these really creative, great videos.
And now he has more time.
Yeah, but I mean, can you do what he does in a 3-minute video? He won't do longer ones, in
Right.
my opinion, because his stuff is like a story. He might, if that's all they're going to be, is longer, but now you have that difference in time. It changes the formatting a lot. It's like when Twitter was only 140 characters and you couldn't thread your things or tie them together or whatever. You would spend a really long time trying to make your text fit into that one thing in a smart way, in a good way, in a funny way. Like it's harder to be more edited than it is to have longer time, if that makes sense. But 3 minutes, isn't that kind of what YouTube was working on with YouTube Shorts?
Well, yes,
I mean,
Yeah.
shorts are under a minute, but
Okay.
I want to talk about that because this is just my opinion, but I think TikTok's not really worried about Instagram or Facebook. I think this 3-minute thing is going after YouTube, because I bet if you could see, everybody talked about, the optimal link on YouTube and all that stuff, and it was longer videos. They went longer time on site. But with shorts and some of these other things, I have a feeling, and I haven't seen any studies about this, but I have a feeling that the most watched length of YouTube is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And I think this is
around 3 minutes is what they kind of say, like do at least a 3-minute,
Right.
I think people's attention is shorter everywhere. So it's interesting that they're all giving you longer time, because
Right.
they're betting on it being longer, but is 3 minutes really a long time? Like, think about that. Like, that's our long time now.
right. Yeah, Dustin
But
says,
I do think they are going after YouTube. I do think TikTok is. Dustin agrees. And I think YouTube is the king of video, but not the short video. And TikTok, the thing is that the youngest kids, that are out there, they're all on TikTok. And the popular things is always where the youngest generations are, because they know it's hot and cool. So there are all different ages on TikTok. It's not only the Gen Z or millennials, but it's a good portion of it. I think,
Right.
I mean, I'm really a TikTok consumer. I'm not a creator on TikTok. I have a TikTok. I have a few videos, and I'm like, I can't even figure out how to do the things. Like, I see some really cool transition stuff that people do over there. There's one where they're doing a freeze frame. Reese Witherspoon posted one the other day. It was just like a really short video, but there's like 6 versions of her in the video.
Yes.
That's a TikTok thing. I know it is, but she posted it on Instagram. The thing with the comparison between Reels and TikTok videos is TikTok's tools are better.
Yeah.
That, like, you can make cool things, like you can sync the video to the music automatically, where you can't do that in Reels, and they're adding more features. But to some extent, I think that the changes that Instagram made to try to ward off Snapchat worked a little bit better than they are with TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't see as many people talking about Snapchat anymore, but kids still use it for personal communication. It's kind of like a communication tool for them. But anytime that an app is getting the attention, that's all that counts. Like, any attention, watching a video, talking to people. Like, Facebook tries to make us have 58 apps on our phone that are Messenger, Instagram. They tried to have the IGTV had
it's
a
very
separate
bloated.
app.
Yeah, it's very bloated.
Yeah.
It is. But I don't want like 10 Facebook apps. They're all Facebook.
So I want to bring up some comments here, because I think it's, Dustin said that he doesn't think they're not completely not worried about IG, though. They can't let their guard down. Yeah, they have the eyeballs. I mean, they've got the user, the amount of people there. when it could almost go to be like, okay, YouTube is going to be the, DIY, how to do stuff. If your washer's broke, here's what you can go and look how to fix yourself. Longer form stuff. But I could see all the entertainment stuff drifting over to TikTok. That's just an idea. But Gary says
there's
this.
a lot of informational stuff there too, though, John.
Right.
Even when it was only, I mean,
fintech
you
is
can learn
huge
how to
over
do
there.
a lot of stuff on TikTok. Like people have taken life hacks to the extreme, like how to put you're putting your garbage can liner in wrong. This is how to do it, and you're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for a long time. I had my bag inside out.
My daughter was learning investing on TikTok. There's this whole sub niche of like TikTok investors, like these 20-somethings that are teaching people how to do it. And they're smart. It's not just like somebody going, hey, anyway.
Yeah.
But Gary says this over on LinkedIn, and I wanted to pull this up. He goes, and this is back to Instagram and their highlighting video. He goes, I made an Instagram reel a few weeks ago and got an unbelievable reach, like 100 times what a photo post would usually get us. So, they're already starting to do that. And, I don't know. So Grace, you had a point about this, that you had talked about what the director of Instagram said about, still photos.
Oh yeah. So this was a big quote. So Mazzari said that videos are here to take over still photos. They're here to take over still photos. So they're not even like, they're full transparency. This is what's happening. They're telling you what they're doing. There will be changes at how the platform serves you content recommendations. So you're going to be seeing a lot more video recommendations. And I'm seeing that too in my own Instagram feed. Is I'm seeing a lot more video recommendations. So the negative reaction about this news is largely, at least for me, I follow a lot of photographers. And so a lot of the reaction that I've seen is from them, because they're people that had built a photo-based portfolio on the platform. They've spent years doing. A lot of business owners and a lot of organizations have been doing the same thing because that was such the focus. And so they have all of this photo content, which, you have time to produce it. You have time to really style it. Video is completely different, right? And so a lot of the feedback I was seeing was that I don't have time to make a multitude of videos or that much content, because it is seen as much more content. And one claimed that they're doubling down on other sites. Like they're saying, well, I'm leaving, I'm going to Pinterest now. I'm just going to go double down on TikTok now. So with video being prioritized over any other kind of content on there, like, is there any escape? Like, do we just have to say, okay, now we're doing videos?
That's interesting. I mean, we can choose to do anything we want, right? If we just want to do photos, then we can go to Flickr, or, we can go to other places and just do photos, because there are tons of really great photographers on Instagram. And frankly, I liked seeing them and looking at them too. I think one of the things that we didn't talk about yet is that TikTok is a place where you can go viral no matter how many followers you have. And I don't know how they're going to fix that on Instagram. If they think their explore page, people don't go to their explore page. People look at the people they follow. I hardly ever look for people I'm not following on Instagram. In TikTok, I'm just looking for cool content. So, and you get a lot of the For You page. Like you have your choice of following or For You. Those are your two choices. And on Instagram, they have all that stuff at the top. So they're telling you all the time to look at stories, because that's what they're showing you, live stories. If there's people live, you see that first. And then, first you, so you can add some more content. Please add more content. And then there's the story, there's the live people, and then there's stories. They're not showing us first that there's other people that we can find. They're showing us who we follow first. That's what I see when I look at my phone all the time. What do you guys see? I'd like to know, people that are listening, do you guys go and look at the Explore page a lot? I sometimes will, but I don't very often.
I just usually try to. I'm less and less on Instagram. Most of the time, I'm checking to see who messaged me there or something like that. That's more what I'm using it for. What also I would be interested in is, what Grace said. Is this just one more frustrating thing that you have to deal with? Because now, a lot of people, photos honestly are a lot easier to curate, like Grace was saying, and plan ahead and all this stuff. And if it's going to be more video, then that raises the bar a lot. And that's a struggle. So one of the things, because Peg, I mean, you are a social media expert and you're everywhere. do you agree still with the advice that businesses and content creators should pick one or two platforms and go deep there, like figure out what channels you enjoy most, what gets the best results, and then your audience, find out where they spend their time, and then versus trying to be everywhere? Because I know you've been frustrated, and we've had talks about this, about, like you said at the beginning, you spent all this time growing your Instagram account and growing Instagram accounts for your clients. And now there's this, okay, yeah, photos aren't going to work anymore. You need to do video. Well, you think about your clients, that's a big hurdle for them.
Yeah.
I still, right at the moment, am sticking with my pick a couple things. It might change though. I mean, here's the thing that I was thinking about. I think we need to get better at video, and I will be the first to say I'm not 100% great at video. I'm great. I can be on camera. I can record things. I can do some video editing because in Adobe Premiere Rush. I love that program. It's so easy. I've never been able to figure out the more complicated ones, to be honest.
Right.
Video editing is just not my strong suit. But I think it might be creating videos and then repurposing it in the proper size, like we used to do with photos.
Yeah.
I think we might be moving to that. It was always like, create your content. You have a blog post, you do an image in this size for Twitter, and this size for Pinterest, and this square for Instagram. Maybe it's going to be video. Maybe we're moving to a chop shop for video to create things into the different sizes, which, by the way, you could do in Rush.
Yeah.
Well, I think that makes the smaller micro content, like the 30-second, 15-second, 60-second, that makes it easier because it's easier to edit a 30-second video. You can get on there, do 30 seconds, edit that, than a whole hour-long show, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, for example, for this show, I take this show and I chop it up with the script, and then I put it out on all the socials. And and you see that already happening with TikTok stuff. I mean, they're taking TikTok and they're putting it to Reels. They're putting on Pinterest. I mean, so people are already frustrated and I'm just going to do this and do it everywhere. So I think your point of repurposing is pretty on point there, Peg. I wanted to bring up, because we asked the question.
It needs to be more thoughtful. It needs to be more thoughtful than just sharing your TikToks other places. That's the problem that people were doing, is they were taking their TikToks and putting them on Pinterest and Instagram. And it's maybe, nobody wants to see the other logos or the other formats, but I did see a stat. It was a crazy stat that video is shared, I want to say 2,000% more than any other. I mean, it was an insane 1,500% more. It was a really high stat that video sharing. And I think part of that is TikTok makes it real easy to share.
Yeah. On other platforms. That was their
everywhere. They're like, oh, you want to share? Cool.
Yeah. So we asked some people if they use the Explore page, and Dustin says, I used to go to the Explore page a lot on IG, but now I basically spend time with stories, 10% feed, 10% Reels, 80%. Look at him. He's got it all broken down by percentage. He's so smart. And Sabrina goes, she doesn't look at the Explorer page. Gary is kind of like Dustin. He spends a lot more time viewing stories. And so, it's really interesting that where people are consuming stuff, and most of these stories are mostly video a lot of times, and so really, really interesting stuff. So
what are the chances of creating a reel on Instagram and having it go viral versus the same thing on TikTok? I have a TikTok that I made, my only one that's actually done okay. And it's a little unboxing thing that I did when I was just testing how the music and the image line up. And it's for the Remarkable tablet, and it keeps getting views. I don't know how, but it keeps getting found and people comment on it. It's over 1,000 views, which is not viral by any means on TikTok, but I only have 50 followers or something like that.
Right.
If I kept creating the content, maybe it would, but I mean, you see all the time people that have 50 followers and it goes, they'll get millions. I mean, there's every example of viral content over there is people that had no followers. The skateboarding dude with the ocean spray cranberry juice brought Fleetwood Mac back to the mainstream come on, who would even thought? And cranberry juice and Fleetwood Mac, how do those go together? One guy likes them.
Well, what I will have to say is that TikTok does, in my own experience, TikTok does a better job of showing me things that I'm actually interested in it. to the point where I'll start getting these TikToks and I'll ask my friend, what is going on in my life that I'm getting this content? Like, what am I doing? What am I putting out there? Right.
Right.
But when it comes to Instagram on Reels, like it's showing me stuff that I'm like, I have no interest in this and I don't know how to stop it. No way of
Right.
me telling Instagram, I don't want to see. And it had me stuck on this to the point where like I stopped going on Instagram completely because what they were showing me was so upsetting that I was just like, I don't even want to look at this.
Yeah.
They're also using your Google searches or other things, and TikTok is doing a lot of ad placements. I don't know if you guys see TikTok ads. I see them all the time. Targeted ads for me on Twitter to go watch pets on TikTok. I'm like, I watch plenty of pets. They're like, come start an account. You can have millions of furry friends.
So one of the funny things, and I count myself as a furry friend. One of the things that Dustin brought up, and we were going to talk about this a little bit later, but he goes, anyone here that TikTok is now selling its AI to other companies? That is one of the reasons is because their AI is spot on for recommendations and getting that stuff that you want to see to you. One of the things I want to add, because we talked a little bit just a second ago about going viral on TikTok, and it's a lot easier than in other platforms. The question I have for you, Peg, is that's true because my son's girlfriend went viral. One of her posts went viral. But is the ROI for virality different on TikTok than it is on YouTube versus like Instagram? Because I don't see the return on investment. And I've argued, I haven't argued, but we've talked about it with Rachel Peterson on here before, is like, that's great, but how does that make my business do better or get me leads or sales and that kind of stuff? So what do you say to that, Ms. Fitzpatrick?
Okay, what I say about that is that, TikTok is starting out after a lot of other things, and people have already figured out how to monetize. I see tons of people on TikTok that are totally monetizing things. Christmas time, there was this girl that was doing all these amazing videos on how to wrap presents, difficult to wrap presents, which everybody is spending December wrapping those really hard things. And she was linking to this thing on Amazon that was a little tape dispenser that clipped onto the counter. So you clipped your paper and you could get two even, clip them on the sides, roll it out. And then it was also the tape dispenser. And that little tool that this one person went viral on TikTok was sold out everywhere.
Right.
And that was her. She sold that out. Feta cheese, another thing. That person went viral. She was in the Netherlands, I think. She made that viral pasta sauce. It was just tomatoes, feta, some basil. And she did this baked pasta thing. That went viral. Finland. Her whole country ran out of feta. So brands aren't necessarily always at the front of it, but people are. I don't think she had affiliate links for feta cheese,
right?
Which is a bummer.
That would be great.
But some people are making a lot of money on it. It's hard to get ahead of it. You can never, ever, I don't care what anyone tells you, you can't plan to go viral. There's so much it's like blowing fairy dust on something. You can make really great content and you can, don't you think that?
I want some of your fairy dust.
That is true.
Yes. It's Ryan Reynolds' fairy dust.
Yeah. Oh, I knew you'd bring up Ryan Reynolds. She is a super fan.
It's Friday. Friday is my Ryan Reynolds content day.
She tells me when she gets retweeted by him all the time. So one of the things, this is really on point by Dustin. He goes, this is very telling. A show about Instagram is equally about TikTok. Well, yeah, because they made these changes because of TikTok. You can just tell. So we are almost halfway through the show, and we are on our first segment. So we got to move to our second one really quickly. So Grace, let's talk about this really quick because we want to talk about these video. We kind of have already, but let's kind of just summarize it really quick.
Well, I wanted to focus on what it is that, because we've just talked about what we can't have. Let's talk about what they're giving us, right? Okay. Which is where they are focusing more on full screen, immersive, entertaining, mobile first video. Full screen, immersive, entertaining, video first, mobile first video, TikTok, right? And they're also focusing on 4 key areas. So, of course, video, creators. So they are supporting creators more. They're creating more opportunities for creators to make money off of their platform, not through affiliate links, although that helps, not through brand, but like just by making videos on Instagram.
Mhm.
Shopping. So I know I briefly mentioned live shopping, but they are putting a bigger emphasis on e-commerce this coming year or throughout the rest of the year, and then messaging. So they didn't go
Mm.
as too much detail into those last two things because I mean everyone was like video. Let's talk about that, right? But the competition is still stiff in these areas, right? I mean, like
Mhm.
try taking on Shopify and Amazon, right? When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to shopping, we're on Amazon Live right now. We're not selling anything, but we do great there, right? So, how do you think this strategy or this change in strategy on Instagram's part should inform the change in strategy in when we're working with our clients or creating our own branded content?
So I'll give a great example of a brand who does really great things with their Instagram stories, and I'm sure lives and other things. Well, I have a couple examples. One is Rent the Runway. They'll show like hot things, they'll show new brands, and they have designers that come on. They'll have a little rack of clothes, and it's full. It's a live video, and they're showing you the things. So I think they're trying. I think Instagram is they're expanding on all these influencers that are doing like the like to know it things where you can get the links, it's in the bio. You can go, I have it like on my Instagram. You can click on the link on my bio. It takes you to a thing like these are the things I like. You can see my Amazon page with things that I recommend or books that I'm talking about. So they're just tying those things together more and trying to make more live experiences. So as we went through our pandemic, and a lot of countries are still like way deep in it, but they had to move everything, virtual. And that included like fashion shows, and people loved them. They did a fashion show. I think Kristen Stewart was like the one attendee at the Chanel fashion show. I mean, how do you get that life where you get to be the one Chanel person? Just sit there, Jeff. I know you have no interest in that, but I mean, it is amazing, like an amazing opportunity. But they did them all on video. They show you when they're all the things, and then you can buy them. And that's where all of the platforms are moving now.
Right.
On photos and real, like you can click on Instagram. Remember those old times when they had photos? When Instagram used to have photos, you could click on it and you could see now the shopping thing. So they're really tying together, interestingly enough, your Facebook page as a small business. If you have all your products on there, you can link to them on Instagram. And for sure, those are all going to be linkable on your reels and stories and all the video things later. And I don't know how they'll do it for live. My guess would be you would like prepare your list of stuff, and maybe they would have to check it out after in the description for a link or something. That's some crazy AI
Right.
machine learning stuff that I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I mean, it's just going to be like full immersive, like exclusive product launches. Another brand that I follow all the time is Olive and June nail polish, and they do tons of stuff online. They actually had retail stores that were closed during the pandemic, and I found out they're not even opening them. They're not reopening their nail salons because they sell all their products on their Instagram account, like almost exclusively on their Instagram account. Their founder is all in on making live content. They have all their resources towards creating great stuff. They're starting to work with ambassadors. They do their product launches. People are hanging on their every word to find out what their next colors are going to be. It's July, and people in their comments were like, when are the fall colors coming out? Like, people want the next colors. They're great. I love their products, but what they've done, like moving it all online and really reaching people, you can click on their photos, you can get the colors. They share tons of user generated content. So they're a brand that's really looked at like digital first, mobile first, like they're like deep in it. So it's cool to see. And I know, like, I mean, every different genre of shopping has these different brands that are like all in. I see a lot of beauty brands on Instagram because I like to follow them because they've always had great social. For some
Yeah.
reason, the beauty brands, like they've worked really closely with the influencers, obviously, and probably sports are the same. Sports are probably the same as tying together, but you just see so many of the beauty brands that have really just put their resources towards making great content.
Yeah, Sabrina says this is just like the NYX Cosmetics closed all stores during the pandemic. online only now. So a lot of people were forced
Yeah.
to, but the good ones had already
Yeah.
been on their way. So one of the questions
Yeah.
I want to talk about really quick is, let's talk about this deeper e-commerce integration on Instagram. So I know you work with a lot of small businesses, kind of that's one of your specialties is, small business social. And so how can brands and business make the most of these, Instagram e-commerce features and tools? So like, can you tell us a little bit really quickly about what's available? Should we all go in on live shopping? Because that's kind of right as of right now is pretty exclusive for certain type of retailers. So I'm really interested, or should we just leave Instagram as a messaging thing that we use it as we're talking to clients, kind of like, Twitter was, that was kind of almost a customer service type of thing. So what are your thoughts for small businesses?
If you don't have products that you can do as clickable things, you could still do the live in-store things, which I know you have done some of those with with small businesses before, Jeff. It depends on what you're selling, how you can use these things. So you do have to do a little bit of a twist for it. If you have physical products that you can, put in a store and make them all clickable, for sure, get to that. If you have products, I have products that I can't do that. Like, you can't sell chemicals on a
Right.
Shoppo. That's not possible. But you could still do, in person, you could do event, because we're not really at in-person events 100% yet. To some extent we are, but you could do exclusive launches for products. You could do any of those things. Anything that a big business can do, a small business can do, they can just change it to whatever, who they're trying to reach. So if you have an Instagram page, I hope that they're going to kind of open up your algorithm. If you're making live video, if they're trying to push towards video and you're, doing what they want us to do, which is not a great feeling as a creator to have to switch to something that's not your content. Like, I hardly ever make video for one of my clients, but the ones I do, I have on YouTube. So I'll have to test that too. It does take longer to make that content. So it's going to have to be a switch for budget stuff.
Right.
But it can be like live video, which you still have to prep for, but you could do live, you could do product launches, you could talk about products. And like I said, Olive and June, they do a lot of created content, but they also do like live tutorials on how to do different kind of manicures, how to do cuticles, how to all the different things. So they've really just taken every part of their products and figured out how to translate that online. I think if you asked people, could you do tutorials for manicures and would people watch that? I think people would probably say no. Like, why would people watch that? But people are obsessed with it. So
People watch Dr. Pimple Popper, so they'd probably watch cuticles. So sorry.
That's true.
Anyway, speaking
It
of
does
live,
remind
we've been
me.
talking a lot about live video and how all these networks are starting to push them out more. And one of the best ways to do live video is by our friends over at Ecamm. You can find out more about socialmedianewslive.com/Ecamm. But I want to talk really quick about their brand new Leap Into Live summit they're having coming up soon. You can go to leapinto.live/home and register for that, kind of pre-register for it. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be speaking there. You're going to learn how to do so many cool things. They're going to have live panels, discussions, workshops, virtual cocktail parties, which is always fun. But if you're wanting to know how to do what I do, which is, and since Peg's on here, I'll mention that I live produce Guy Kawasaki show using Ecamm and Restream together. And so if you want to learn how to do that kind of things for your clients, make sure you sign up for leapinto.live/home. It's going to be amazing. And I mentioned it, that what we use it for a Guy Kawasaki show is the amazing Restream. So talk about that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, we're just talking about Peg Fitzpatrick here being everywhere, and you can be everywhere too with the power of Restream. You can go to over 30 plus online destinations online. So you can create these fully branded, completely professional live streams like we're doing right now to go live. And so I know people we're talking about getting started on live. I want to get Peg and Jeff, I want to get your advice for someone who is just getting started with live or someone who wants to dip their toe in. So I'll give my advice first, which is, it's nerve-wracking to go live now. I can't even do any other kind of video. Like whenever I try to do pre-recorded, I'm like I turn into like a dead armadillo or something. I don't know. Like it's not very fun.
You're
So
yeah.
it's not good. So I always recommend that if you're just getting started, go live into a group of people that like you but not like you too much, so that they will tell you, hey, you could do this better, whatever. But it helps you start getting used to being
Right.
on camera, talking to people, interacting with guests. So I always say, if you're going to do it for the first time, try it in a group of people that you kind of know. What about
Yeah.
you guys?
I go into Ecamm usually. I like to just set things up before I'm going live so I can see what it's going to look like.
Mhm.
So I like to test my lights. Like I tested my lights, to be honest. I maybe should have done, I don't know, I look really pale for some, I am pale, but I have my lights set up. I have my
Right.
background. I like to just test my camera and all my stuff. So sometimes I go on to Ecamm and test it there, but I also will just go into a Facebook. Jeff and I have this Facebook page that's like
Yeah.
nobody sees it. It's closed, but I
Yeah.
test in there. Like I'll do a short video just to see how everything looks. And then if I need to tweak something, I can do that. So it helps if you just give yourself a little test of something, and then you'll know what you're going to look like. It's not as scary. And also look at the camera.
Right.
Look at the
The
camera.
the thing I
Not
would
at
say
you.
is just like have a group, that a private thing that you can go in just yourself, see how it looks and record it and all that stuff, and then go, like Grace said, to the next step, which would be to a group of friends and kind of do it there. The other thing is start. We're talking about all this entire show about how to really go. We're going live everywhere to all these different places, but we're also recording it, and then I chop it up. So one of the biggest things I see, so many people, they get incredible guests like we have with Peg today, and they do it live, and then that's it. There's gold in what Peg has said before. There's all these great little bits that you can share out that people can find out about your show, find out about your company. And so I think as more and more of these platforms are really pushing live video and video, finding ways to do that, do it one time and go out a lot, is going to be the key to your sanity. Because we can't be there all the times, and these tools allow us to do that. I can tell, like, Carrie over on YouTube thought, oh, that's hilarious. A dead armadillo. Grace is a dead armadillo.
That's what I'm like when I'm doing pre-recorded video.
And then we have somebody in one of our Facebook groups saying, Grace Duffy and Peg Fitzpatrick has the prettiest necklace. I assume Jeff's is hidden under his beard. So yeah, so
It is.
it's being able to interact, I think, is going to be key. But then also taking that,
Yeah.
the content, and going out everywhere is going to be very, very important as well. So our last segment, because we only have a short amount of time, and Dustin and some other people had hinted about this, but I wanted to talk about it because I think it's very, very helpful. And it's just a test right now. But Instagram, yeah, let's talk about that. Because forget what I was going to say. I want to talk about this, badges. We don't need no stinking badges. No. Tell us about this, Peg, because you have it. What are these Instagram badges that you speak of?
So it's kind of like the Twitter tip jar. So there's little badges that you can purchase on Instagram Lives if people have the feature. And basically you can buy like 1, 2, or 3. It's like 99 cents or like $1 or something like that. And buying a badge pins your comment so the creator will see it. So say, for example, if Ryan Reynolds were on Instagram Live,
Right.
which I don't think he does, but if he were, I
You'd be
could
there.
pin on there like, Ryan, I know we're married because you retweet all my stuff. I know Blake is just for show. I get it. I'm okay with that.
Right.
Just kidding. No, but it gives you the opportunity to connect with a person in a non-creepy way. You could buy a badge, and it helps them see your content, but also it supports the creator. So say, for example, that I was going to do a special kind of manicure and I was going to like do an Instagram Live. I honestly don't even know if I could do one for manicure. I would probably be stressed about that, but I could, because the little box that they give me, the camera where you could put your
Right.
phone in there and film it. Like they have it all set up so you can do it. So if I was going to do that and say like, it was going to take me a half hour, 45 minutes, and you liked it, you could support that. Or if I was like giving a book review or sharing information on how to do something, you could just support your favorite creators by giving them badges. Now, the other side of that is that Facebook / Instagram right now is paying people to go live. They're rewarding people, and I think it's right in the badges. I
Now,
believe it is.
just
Right
to
in
be
the
clear,
badges.
this isn't rolled out for everybody yet, or you have to have a certain amount of
No.
followers. This is just still a test.
I don't know if it's followers. I don't know how they chose to
But
do
Peg
it.
got it. She's being very modest, but she has badges and
Yeah.
she can do all the fun stuff
I don't know
before the
why
rest of the
though.
world.
Like I don't know if it has to do with followers or verified or
Yeah, because they introduced this
content
in May
creators.
2020, and they were testing it about with a small group of creators, like in the U.S., Brazil, all that. So,
Mhm.
so
So you can see it if you want to check to see if you have it. I have a business account, so you have to have a business account.
Mhm.
Maybe it's in the creator account. I'm not sure, but there's a button. There's a little tab that says badges. You're getting my light reflection.
yeah,
Sorry. And then from badges, there's a little thing that says eligible, and it has estimated earnings, and it has like little badge milestones. So you can do a badge milestone. So they gave me one to co-host a live video, and then they will pay me. That's
so
just from Instagram.
that's
And the badges, we're not taking money out of that either. That will go 100% to the
so
person.
so that bonus for going live and the badges. Do you think those are two
Mhm.
separate things? I don't think everybody who has badges gets that bonus, do they? For going live right now?
I think they're tied together, but I'm not
Okay.
100% sure. I haven't seen anybody else talking about that, getting offered to be paid to go live. I click on every little pop-up thing. I'm like, oh, what's this? What's that? Like, I didn't get an email about it,
hmm
nothing. So
So,
it
have
was
you
just,
gone live and got badges yet? Have you tried it?
I have gone live and I met one badge milestone, but I didn't like people do the other things, people don't know what they are. So when you go live, you have to be like, hey, there's a little badge down there if you want to support me. And I didn't do that on my first one,
So that's the
but people
question
could
I
see
have.
it, the badge.
Because I've seen people do this and it's be like, hey, support me with my badge. And it was almost like an infomercial for
Mhm.
you to buy my badge. So how would you suggest businesses or influencers do this in a non-spammy way?
Mm. I guess it's kind of like putting the affiliate links when you're kind of like, hey, like this, support, I'm here providing value for you. If you think
Right.
you could, I don't know. I didn't do it because I was like, do I feel comfortable asking people just to buy
Maybe
a badge to support me? And I was like, but I think the thing is you have to educate your audience. They don't know what they are. So if you don't tell people that they can do it, I think no one will do it.
Well, also
yeah.
when they
Do you think
buy
people know what they are?
I would have no idea. Like, as a casual, if I was a casual user, I probably wouldn't know what they are, and I wouldn't know how to use them
Mhm,
or how to even get them to you or why I would
mhm.
get them to you. Right? There's like, I guess to people that are on other platforms like
like
Twitch,
YouTube.
it's a natural thing. YouTube, like where that's part of the culture of the
Yeah,
platform. But I don't know that that necessarily translates over to.
right.
I think they want it to, and they give you opportunities, but I don't know. Maybe you just like I get Jeff to send me a badge. I'm like, oh, a badge. Do you know what like oh what a
You plant your
surprise.
badges. So
Send your friends money on cash. Maybe you can pin it. I'll try doing it and I'll pin
Yeah.
it. I'll do a comment and pin it and say like, hey, if you're, if you want to support me, you can buy a little get a little badge. Like maybe you could do
yeah.
that.
So Dustin says, yeah, having to educate them is always a little bit awkward at first, but once it's
Mhm,
commonplace, you don't even have to talk about it anymore. This is what, and I
mhm.
think when somebody gives you a badge or it comes to the top of your feed and you'll see it and it stays there for a while, I would do it in a way. So I'm a big fan of Nick Nimmin. He does YouTube stuff on Saturday mornings. He's a YouTube guy, talks about things, and he does it very organically. Like he just says, hey, if I don't think he even mentions it, but what he does is he'll answer those questions first. So if you have a big audience of people who are wanting to like, Peg, how do you do this? Peg, how do you write a book? Peg, how do you get, badges on Instagram? And it's just going by all the, you could say something like, hey, I answer all the people who give me badges, just an easy way for me to be able to pull things out of the feed. If you want 100% me to answer your question, this is what you do. That's, I think, a very
Mhm.
kind of standard way. People are used to that I do that all the time to get my question answered on Nick's stream because I'm like, hey, I got a question. I will pay you $5
Right.
if you answer this for me. So,
I think people would do that for Guy for sure.
mhm.
Like they would want to be at the top of his questions and stuff. So it is really interesting. I'm sure that they'll only do this thing for a while. Well, I'll have to start watching Twitch so I can
Yeah, find your favorite
effectuate
game.
it.
Yeah.
But I think
Oh,
that's the thing is when it's built in, it's there, people do it. But creators everywhere, it takes time and expertise and all of these things to make content, to be a creator.
Mm-hmm.
Zach King, Lord only knows how long he takes making his videos. It's a
Oh,
long
and he's got a
time.
big team and a big set. I mean, it's just amazing the stuff he
Yeah.
does. So we're almost out of time, but I wanted to bring this up. This last piece of news is the Instagram test uploading from desktop. Now, Peg and I know are excited about this because we do a lot of stuff on our desktop. Somebody earlier said, "Yeah, I hate putting stuff on my phone." I lost that comment, but that's very, very true. A lot of people are frustrated with trying to do everything on their small little phone. So what they're doing is, Instagram's come a long ways from just using it on their desktop mobile app. So now hopefully we'll be able to schedule not only posts but stories. Now some of this you've been able to do through Facebook Creator Studio, like Peg showed me how to schedule my IGTVs if you wanted to do that through Creator Studio. So, but they are launching their first live test of this the capability to publish feed posts from the desktop version of the app. With a small group of users are now able to access a full suite of upload and posting options. If you have that, let us know, because I'd love to know what you think. This was spotted and shared by social media guru Matt Navarra, who always finds and gets everything. So, but I am very excited about that, because if I can do it from my desktop, that's where I create a lot of images. That's where I edit a lot of video, all that kind of stuff. So, Peg, are you excited about that?
Totally. And also, I wonder if Instagram will open it up and live stream through Restream. I mean, they want to push video, but the one thing you can't do is you can't do anything through any other app, so it makes it more awkward. We did actually a big thing. Guy did a big thing with Facebook, and they wanted to do it on Instagram Live, and I think it was a little bit more awkward than they even thought. They were like, "Oh, this is a little hard," because it is a little hard.
Yeah. So like Carrie goes, "Oh my gosh, I'd love if they go to desktop." Yeah. So I think it's coming. So hang on to your horses.
I have badges, but on desktop. I think if they want people to do more video, they gotta let you freaking do it on desktop. Come on.
Right. And Dustin goes, when is the IG iPad app? Yes, preach it, brother. I would love to have the iPad app as well. One of the cool things, though, you mentioned, I would love it if they open up their API for the live video, because Ecamm's really cool because you can actually stream in vertical video, and then just think if you could stream that out everywhere with Restream. I mean, that would be a marriage made in heaven. So Instagram, if you're listening, give us API access, please.
I think I get asked that question about every week. We do a live demo every other week at Restream, and we get asked that question every time. And I'm like, the minute they allow it, we will be there. We're ready. We are prepared emotionally. Like, we're ready for it.
So Sabrina said she found it. So Sabrina, I would love it if you take a screenshot of that, where you found it at, and let us see that, because I would love to let people know what it looks like behind the Instagram curtain, as you will. So with that, this always is amazing. Peg, thank you so much for being here. I would love to tell everybody where they can find you, what you're up to, all the good stuff. Peg Fitzpatrick.
I'm working on my second book right now, which is very exciting.
I was going to announce that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was excited. It is exciting. So I'm working on that. It's for small businesses. And, you can find me at my blog, pegfitzpatrick.com, or Peg Fitzpatrick everywhere. I'm around. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest.
And it's all your name, right? It's all at Peg Fitzpatrick. Is that where they would?
It is. Okay. I try to avoid Facebook. That's about it. But thank you guys for having me. It was super fun.
Yeah, this is good. Thank you guys for all your great questions. Grace, where can we find out more about all things Grace Duffy?
You can find all things Grace Duffy over at the Restream channels. I manage our YouTube channel, so follow us at Restream.io or Restream.io actually on YouTube. You can find us there. We also have an amazing Facebook group. You just look up Restream Community on Facebook, and we are there. So we've got everyone from pros to just beginners. If you're getting started with live video, interested in live video, want to upscale your live video efforts, join that group, and you'll find a great community.
Yeah. And I was so excited to have Peg at the beginning of the show. I forgot to let everybody know if they would like to get reminded about this show and how to come on live, they can text us at 903-287-9088. That's 903-287-9088. That allows me, it's no spam. I just let you know reminders when we go live. It's a way to get past those pesky algorithms that we all don't like very much. So 903-287-9088. And as always, we are a podcast. We'd love for you guys to go over there, give us a rating and review on your favorite podcast player. You can subscribe for free on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, all those places. And with that, we want to thank you guys. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
And the podcast machine is off. Thank you guys so much for showing up. So Sabrina, thank you so much. She goes, the text message is the best. Appreciate you subscribing to that. And thank you, Dustin, for stopping by and for your support. He is also excited about a second book. So we are waited with bated breath. So we had some great people stop by today. I want to bring up some more comments. Robert Lee says, Belade, always cool to see Jeff C. and Grace Duffy online. Thank you. Peg's not half bad either, so I'm glad she was here with us. But thank you guys so much for showing up and sharing it out and your comments and letting us know everything. If you find some news during the week that you think, and I know Sabrina has messaged me about this before too, feel free to drop me a DM on your favorite social network. We would love to see if we could bring that on the show because you guys see stuff that we don't. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye now.